Welcome to the Caregivers Coaching Corner. I'm Dementia Coach Diane, and I'm sharing my journey as I care for my husband Ben, who's living at home with Lewy body dementia. Here's where we talk about the real life challenges of both caregiving and self-care, because both really matter. And my intention is to share topics that have come from you, the caregiving community, and that together we'll come up with the ideas, the solutions that we need to take care of our loved ones and ourselves. Now, as those of you know who are caring for someone who's living with cognitive changes, there are so many things that we have to manage as dementia caregivers in terms of their personal care, their personal hygiene, medications, diet and nutrition, getting them to the physician's offices, oral care, exercise, and dealing with any concomitant disorders that they might have. It can feel, of course, so overwhelming on any given day. But one of the things that's so important to remember is that they have emotional needs as well. Now, we can't be 100% responsible for their emotional needs, but there are many things that we can do. And I came across, actually, one of our subscribers sent me a link to a Facebook page that's called Senior Compass. And they posted this beautiful list. It's a wish list for those living with dementia. And each one of these reminders that I'm going to share with you starts out with, if I get dementia, I would like fill in the blank. And I'd like you to just take a moment. If you're listening to this, hopefully you have just a few minutes to maybe sit down and listen and take these in. And I'm probably going to cry as we go, but it really says everything almost that you need to know about dementia care. So here we go. If I get dementia, I want my friends and family to embrace my reality. If I think my spouse is still alive, or if I think we're visiting my parents for dinner, let me believe those things. I'll be much happier for it. If I get dementia, don't argue with me about what is true for me versus what is true for you. If I get dementia and I'm not sure who you are, do not take it personally. My timeline is very confusing to me. If I get dementia and can no longer use utensils, do not start feeding me. Instead, switch me to a finger food diet and see if I can still feed myself. If I get dementia and I'm sad or anxious, hold my hand and listen. Do not tell me that my feelings are unfounded. If I get dementia, I don't want to be treated like a child. Talk to me like the adult that I am. If I get dementia, I still want to enjoy the things that I've always enjoyed. Help me find a way to exercise, read, and visit with friends. If I get dementia, ask me to tell you a story from my past. If I get dementia and become agitated, take the time to figure out what is bothering me. Don't write me off as just a big challenge. If I get dementia, treat me the way that you would want to be treated. If I get dementia, make sure there are plenty of snacks for me in the house. Even now, if I don't eat, I get angry. And if I have dementia, I may have trouble explaining what I need. If I get dementia, don't talk about me as if I'm not in the room. If I get dementia, don't feel guilty if you cannot care for me 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. It's not your fault, and you've done your best. Find someone who can help you, or choose a great new place for me to live. If I get dementia and I live in a dementia care community, Please visit me often. If I get dementia, don't act frustrated if I mix up names, events, or places. Take a deep breath. It's not my fault. If I get dementia, make sure I always have my favorite music playing within earshot. If I get dementia and I like to pick up items and carry them around, help me return those items to their original place. If I get dementia, don't exclude me from parties and family gatherings. Don't be embarrassed about what I might say or do. I'm doing my best, and so are you. If I get dementia, know that I still like receiving hugs or handshakes. If I get dementia, remember that I am still the person you know and love. I know for myself that this has been certainly the hardest journey of my life with my husband. We've been together over 50 years, and it is so hard to have to take care of every little thing now by myself. But you know, he's worth it to me. And I pray that your loved one is worth it to you. So please, if you know someone who was caring for someone with dementia or did care for someone, perhaps you could pass this video along to them and let them know that they're doing a great job, but just to make sure they keep these things in mind and to remember that our loved ones are still in there. And if they're physically gone from the planet, I believe that they all know that we're doing the very best we can as caregivers. So thank you for watching this far. And if this kind of thing resonates with you, please give a thumbs up. It really helps me to know if you'd like to see more of this kind of thing. But to me, this list kind of says it all. So maybe you want to listen to it more than once to remember when you're in the thick of things that your loved one is still in there too.